Hey, what's going on, folks? This is Mike here, and welcome back to the Deprogramming Language series. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about a tool for testing the correctness of your program, and that's an assert. Now, I've been sneaking these into some of the previous lessons, but I want to go ahead and talk about it in a dedicated video just for how we use asserts. In fact, we're going to use them a lot of different places, including unit tests, so we'll want to stay tuned here for that lesson coming up. Anyways, with that said, let's go ahead and dive onto the Deprogramming Language website and go to the language reference, and I'm going to go down to expressions because asserts are expressions. And let me go ahead and just minimize this for a moment so we can get it on the screen. And if we scroll down here, we will find assert expressions. Okay, now what is an assert? Basically what an assert is we have some expression that's going to be evaluated to true or false. And if the value is not true, then we get what's called an assert failure. And that basically means that our program's in some sort of illegal state, so we need our program to crash. That's the safest thing to do, to just terminate. Now, where have you seen this type of behavior before, where your program just terminates? Well, there's different classes of what I'd call exceptional control flow. Maybe you're familiar with exceptions, which is a different tool in which you can recover from the state. But this is a type of an exception that's stronger, which we want to actually sort of terminate our program. So, for example, if I have some array like this, static array, and I try to access in the static array element 15, which clearly you can see is out of bounds here. Okay, let's go ahead and run this here with RDMD. This is going to give us an error and crash our program, right? This is sort of a potential a bounds check here that is throwing some assertion. Again, that's throwing us out here, or an exception, or some sort of error, some illegal state here. And that's the same sort of thing that we can do with a assert here. So for instance, I could write I here as a variable. Let's set it to 15, and I could assert for some reason if this index here, let's just say we use a variable here, if idx is greater than 9 in this case, idx greater than array size of 10 here. Let's see, or I should say greater than or equal to, well, it's a zero index language, so you sort of get the idea. But idx is out of bounds of array. Okay, something like that, and this is the idea. We want to give ourselves a helpful error message for the assert that tells us that, this is an illegal state of the program. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this here, and we will get this assert, let's see what they call it, assert failure here that prints out our helpful message here. Okay, so that could be useful, and we can append to this string if we want the actual value, just something to keep in mind to make this a little bit more helpful. Now, this isn't the exact way to use an assert. Unless we're being kind of careful, or I should say, there's multiple ways that we could have handled this. Okay, so one of your first questions might have been, Mike, why don't we just say if idx is greater than 9, do something else. Otherwise, we could comment this out here. And then otherwise we can, proceed here. So we could have like an else here or something here. Okay, so this is an example of what I'd say is one example of handling error state with user code here. Okay, we're just having some if conditional here. So I could run this here, and you see that we get this message, right? This is clearly going to put us in some sort of a legal state here where we're accessing our array out of bounds. Again, we just know at this point that this is an illegal thing to do. That's why I'm using it as an example. But what I really want for asserts is some sort of a legal behavior that I know, okay? That's so bad that I just want to crash the program. And I want to crash it in a specific sort of way. I want to crash it when I'm developing the program. So let me sort of summarize this in text here. In assert is a programmer's tool for catching errors during development time. Development time here. Not, I'll put it in uppercase, runtime, okay? And I think this is the thing that, again, maybe you have different philosophies or something. Maybe there are exceptions to this, but this is the general rule for what an assert is, right? So this is an example of catching an error at runtime. Okay, and assert is for us. Okay, again, assert is for us at development time. Okay, so again, what would an example of this be? Let's again say that we have some array here. And I'm going to call this like, or some sort of like data thing. Like, let's say color channels. This is an example that I might have here. You might have like color channels representing red, green, and blue values for a pixel, or maybe alpha. Let's go ahead and put all 4 in here. But I might want to have an assert here that color channels, for instance, is, again, something that's evaluating to true, less than or equal to 4. Okay. More color channels than logically possible. Okay. So this is something that you could use an assert for. Okay. So if we run this, this should pass here, which it does, right? Our program didn't crash. So if I make this a little bit bigger, we can see that. But let's say somewhere you came in here and your color channels, for whatever reason, someone came in here, some of your code, wherever, did something that gave you 5 color channels, right? It probably wouldn't make sense to have red, green, blue, alpha, and something else. Okay, so you'd want to crash the program if that actually happened at development time. Okay, you don't want your users to do this. And again, the way to think about asserts is you wouldn't throw an assert, right, if you were in a safety critical system. So the common example is like, you have a self-driving car or something, you don't want it to assert and just shut down necessarily, unless you have that system shut down and then like reboot or something, right? So you want to be careful with how you use these tools here, because it is literally crashing the program and we're back to our terminal, okay? And what this does, this sort of developer tool, is maybe makes you say, aha, I caught this really bad error that I want to make sure that doesn't happen. And now I want to do something smarter, right? I should never be able to like modify this. So maybe this should be like an immutable thing that can't change. Maybe it's like an immutable enum like this or something. Oops, let me just enum here. So again, that's sort of the idea, right? Something maybe that's known at compile time, or something that's not changeable. And you say, aha, okay, I fixed that. I'm going to leave my assert in because that's my contract, right? We're going to talk about contracts in D later. But that this thing never changes. Okay, so that's the idea with asserts. Now we can use asserts in different ways that are sort of interesting. I'll give you a quick preview of some things that we're going to do here, but we can write unit test blocks in the D language, and we assert in them that things are true. 1 is indeed 1. Okay, so something like that. That's our assert message. And then we could run the D programming language here. I'm going to go to our help here to show. And let me just grep here the keyword here for unit test. If I do -unit test, that'll compile and just run these unit test blocks here. Unit test. Let me pass it in my file here. And if I run this program now, which I believe is just ./main, it'll just test to make sure that all of our unit tests pass and all of the assertions go through. Okay, we'll do a video. Make sure you're subscribed for that so you don't miss it, and check out unit testing later. But that's an idea of where we use asserts. We also have static asserts as well, which is going to be in the next video. So we'll cover that and be able to capture these asserts at compile time, things that we absolutely want to be true. Okay, so that's the idea here with assert. Now, again, recall that with asserts, they are the developer's tool. So they're something that's in our program during the development build here. So I'm going to give another note here just to make it highlight. Asserts are removed when we use, I'll put this in quotes here, -release. Okay. So that means we're doing a release build. That's the thing that the actual client gets, and we don't want to crash their system, right? We want to have error handling routines, whether those routines are exceptions, which we can talk about in a later video, or actually handling code like this. So again, your conditional statements are for handling errors and these types of things, for things that might be reasonable, right? You have a while loop asking a user to type in their password 3 times, right? And you can check that over and over. And maybe you would throw an exception if they, failed after 3 times and, could recover and log that error or something otherwise weird happens in your game or application or whatever it might be. Again, assert is a contract for us. And it's used in things like unit tests and contracts and classes and functions, which we'll get to. Okay, so that's the basic idea. Now let me go ahead and show you that in release mode. So let's go ahead and put something that's just not going to be true here, like 1 equals 2. And let's give a helpful message, 1 equals 2. Something there, some documentation. I'm going to go ahead and run this like we normally did, and we'll get the assert here at the line number here. But if I was to compile this in release mode, okay, I'm not going to get that assert message here that was caught here, okay? In fact, I'm getting this illegal instruction, which is kind of interesting here. Let's see what that's about here. Let me go ahead and clear this up. So this instruction's a little bit weird here because, again, when you compile with release mode in D, as I mentioned here, it discards the sort of assert here. But let me show you what's going on here just so we understand the different behaviors of what's going on with assert mode here in case you get this illegal instruction. So if I just do 1 equals 2 here, like this sort of test here, and let's just go ahead and run this in regular D here, even in debug mode. This is an error here, so this is kind of a weird, like, again, it's basically just generating this weird sort of instruction here. So it's just kind of a weird thing here. What a better assert would be to demonstrate this is to go back to our index example here where I have index of 15. And let's just go ahead and throw an assert here and say if I dx is less than 5, for instance, because we want this to evaluate to false, we'd say idx is not less than 5, just as an example here. And then let's go ahead and run this here. Again, we're going to get this assert thrown here. But this time, if I go ahead and, again, let's go ahead and show all the code here. If I compile this in release mode and, there's no assert thrown here because this expression is sort of just going to get thrown out here, okay? Whether or not it's, evaluated to anything. So it's a little bit of a weird, situation here, but again, this is code here that we're effectively wrapping with this assert and checking here. Now there are a few other things here that I want to go ahead and show you here. And I'll show you in the documentation I'm going to bring here. There is different checks. So if we want to specifically, compile in release mode, but still have the assertions on, we can enable those checks here. So let me just bring in another window here from the D. These are from the compiler switches. Let me actually show you how we get here. Just so you know here, if we go to the command line reference, Linux, and then I'm going to search checks here. And you could turn these on one at a time here, okay, for like assertions, bounds checks, and some of the other different things here. Let's go ahead and play around with this and turn on the checks for assertions. So let's go ahead and we'll do release mode anyways. I'm going to do check equals assert. And then I always kind of forget the syntax for this. So let's go ahead and do this here. I think it's equal on something like that here. Yeah, and then if I run this, we are going to get the assert. And then if I do this again, let's just go ahead and flip the flag here to off and run it again, then no assertions here. Okay, compile it in. So just a few different things to keep in mind here. Okay, so with that said, that's pretty much it with asserts. I do want to go ahead and show quickly some of the best practices, some other things to keep in mind with asserts. Again, asserts, we're just checking a condition. And then we're getting the program failure, right? We can basically log out this message. Again, this is a tool for us. One thing that's kind of important for asserts is to not do any sort of state modifications here. I think that's one of the best practices that's actually listed. Let's go ahead and find our assert expressions here. Let's see, it's listed here. Under best practices, yeah, don't have side effects on your asserts here. Because again, if you're modifying the actual behavior within the assert, that's not really checking the state of the program, which is what you're trying to do. Check if you're in a legal state of the program. Okay, so that's the basic idea here. And again, there's another thing about not checking environmental errors here, or like input. Again, they're not great for validating input. That's what the if statements are for here. Okay, you're checking your like user code here. And don't try to attempt normal execution. I guess there's different ways you could sort of capture state of your program or sort of rewind, or like if you're doing a fork in a child process that asserts and fails and so on. Again, assert's supposed to mean your program's in a legal state and not able to proceed forward. Okay, so that's how strong they're supposed to be. Okay. And we'll talk about things like a static assert and asserts within unit tests and contracts and what those mean, because those are things that can be turned on and off in different ways as well. Okay, so use asserts, use them liberally, use them all over your program. They're a really helpful tool. And you can always turn them off in your actual program when you're releasing to the client or whoever your end user is, so they don't have to worry about them. Asserts are our friend for developing safer and better software. All right, folks, with that said, go ahead and check out courses.msha.io if you want to track your progress and see all the other lessons on the Deprogramming Language website if you prefer that distraction-free environment. And with that said, folks, I'll go ahead and end it here. Thank you, as always, for your time and attention. And if you have other rules or interesting use cases that you've used asserts for that have saved you some trouble or solved some errors, please feel free to engage in the discussion below. I'd love to hear those. And anyways, with that said, I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.